Well, hi everybody. I'm Ian.
And I'm Sven. Hello.
And welcome to the second part of the podcast where we interviewed Russ Ballard, and more about that in a moment. But Sven and I are recording this actually on the 3rd of February, which is a little time after the interview that we did with Russ. And by now, everyone will be aware of the sad passing of Pete Thorp. And so, it's good to get back to some business as usual today with today's podcast. But we wanted to do a brief tribute to Pete initially. Sven, it was really, when we heard, it's almost one of the, we couldn't believe what had happened, could we? Really? I couldn't. I can remember exactly where I was when we heard he'd sadly passed away.
As you just said, it's the 3rd of February 2021, and how bad can a year start off? It's the worst thing I thought about doing in our Voices of Russ Ballard podcast, talking about Pete or talking about anybody we interviewed so far. It isn't that long ago since we did our interview with Pete, and we had such a good fun with him. He's such a lovely guy.
We did.
He will be missed. You and me, we were lucky enough to meet him a couple of times, to have time with him and his lovely family. And I said, how bad can a year kick off? It's a nightmare to all of us. And that's the reason why this podcast starts completely different to any other podcast we did in the past.
Exactly. And it's funny, if we go back, and I can't actually bring myself to listen to his podcast yet. I know lots of people have, and Sven, you can tell us more about that in a moment. But I haven't got round to. I not got round, but I just didn't want to play it again. But at the moment, but I do remember him saying, when this is all over, we're going to have a few beers in Germany on the tour and things like that. And sadly, that's not going to happen. But just on a positive note, I think it would be lovely to just share with everybody something which is quite funny, but at the same time, it really outlines how such a nice guy, what a nice guy Pete was. When Sven and I record these podcasts, they're recorded on a Zoom call, which is video and audio, and the audio is recorded. It's gone pretty seamless, really, with all the guests we've had so far, apart from when Pete was on. And when Pete was on, we with the three of us, when it gets over 40 minutes, we have to stop and start again, and it's all a little bit frantic. But we always explain to our guests what's happening, and Pete was fine with that. So I think with Pete, we did it in 4 parts. It's either 3 or 4 parts. Mm-hmm. Can you remember, Sven?
Well, the intention was to do it in 3 parts. In 3 parts, we covered everything, and all of a sudden, something very spectacular happened.
I was when we finished the Zoom call, it comes up on my screen, says, right, the audio's been, and of course I didn't get this window that was told me that was happening, so I knew something was wrong. To cut a very long story short, what had happened is that the middle section wasn't recorded. So we'd gone through a bit of a roadmap, as we call it, Sven and I, of the podcast, what we're going to say, what we're not going to say. Pete also had some things points he wanted to make. And lo and behold, we therefore, when we came off and we'd finished it, I phoned Sven very quickly and I said, Sven, I don't think the 3rd part's been recorded. It's not there. I was absolutely dreading calling Pete and trying to explain to him what we'd done, which, by the way, I think must have been entirely my fault. It wasn't anybody else. I do the recording normally, and so it was my fault. Nobody else is. And I phoned him, and he just couldn't have been nicer. And I felt so bad, so guilty calling him. But he said, "Oh, don't worry. Give us an excuse to have a chat next week." So what we did was we sent him a copy of what had recorded, so we could piece it back together, almost like a jigsaw, Sven, wasn't it? And we ended up covering again the parts that we didn't record, and we did it again, and it gave us an excuse to see him once more at his home. So, but he took that so well, you know, he couldn't have been nicer about it. So, you know, a funny story, but again, underlining what a thoroughly decent chap he is, and very understanding.
Yeah, what a good guy.
Yeah.
He always was. And he was so laid back about the situation. I mean, for us, it was completely frustrating to see, oh my God, the middle section wasn't recorded.
Oh.
And Pete was
ever since then. I wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats, or thinking, you know, we had somebody on, you know, with Russ, for example, you know, or it doesn't matter who it is, you know, sort of, excuse me, you just given us 4 hours of your time, or 3. I mean, Russ gave us probably 4 hours of his time. You imagine telling him, I don't think we've recorded it, Russ, you know. Oh, okay then. Yeah, that's not going to go into. That's
Pete. So Pete was so relaxed about the situation. Yeah, this gives to have a chat next week. You know, the result of this, so the podcast results, they just show that Pete is, well, everybody loves Pete, and all the listeners, they do love Pete because he outperformed all of the others, including Mod.
Mod, as we speak, will be devastated, absolutely devastated, especially when he wrote all those songs like "Since You've Been Mod" and Mod gave rock and roll to
you. I mean, Mod, I'm very sure you're listening now. Well, we just want to apologize for this. Sorry, it isn't our fault. It's just Pete is such a nice guy that he outperformed even you. I mean, the Pete Pot had 5 times more hits than Mr. Russ Ballard himself.
What can you say about that? That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And also, let me share with you, everybody, that I actually phoned. This was before Christmas, and when we saw the amazing stats that were coming, or Sven told me about the amazing stats that we had coming back for Pete Pod, as we called it, I got on the phone to him, and I spoke to him on Christmas Eve, 3:00 in the afternoon, and told him, and he was so elated. He was, you know, so I'm so glad that we did that, and told him. So he's aware that this and I told him that I haven't got the heart to tell Mod yet, but oh, that's all right. Well, you can tell him, that's fine. So, but you could hear the elation in his voice. So you could see he was going to probably go and tell his family afterwards as well. So that was a priceless moment for me. Priceless.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. So he just got the success he deserved. I mean, that's it.
He did. So, from Sven and I, and also from everybody in the Voices of Russ Ballard, and everybody that knew him, is to his friends and family, it was a real privilege for us to do that podcast. His family have been fantastic, but we've sent copies of that to them, or Sven has, which they said they will treasure and pass it down in years to come, as a kind of really lovely outline of his career in his own words. I think his son actually said exactly that, as I recall.
Yeah. What is left to say? We all will miss you. You were a very important part of the lives of so many roulette fans out there. You were a super husband, a super dad, and a super friend to all of us. So rest in peace, mate. Rest
in peace.
We'll see it again. I think, Ian, maybe it's appropriate to play a little sound file I recorded on the Russ Ballard Experience 2018. It was on the first one, where the Rulers back on stage 55 years ago. And there's one song which will all of us always remember on Pete, how he is shouting out the vocals.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Sven. We look forward to hearing that now. And again, rest in peace, Pete.
Oh, do you know what? I don't mind. It's been Pete Thorp, Thorpy. Thorpy's have been a pretty good one, and most people call me Pete, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Well, that was the situation in those days, wasn't it?
Lovely.
Oh, it was great. Let's be fair. I mean, we all loved it, and it was great going to shows. It was great being in shows, and you know, they were fabulous days. There's no doubt about it, right the way through.
Waiting to take a place, but oh, it was the same man.
We quite enjoyed that. I mean, I think the best part about that album, from my point of view, was our collaboration stuff when we used to do those instrumentals, the four of us. Oh, sorry about that. Probably my mummy. It's probably Russ saying, "What on earth are you saying about me?" Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you very much, Ian and Sven, and enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun, and we'll speak soon, yeah?
You know, yeah. You'll make the same mistake somehow. Help me, brother, I'm a stranger in your town. Help me, sister, baby, I'll settle down. Oh, blimey. I don't remember the words.
Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.
So we're now moving on to the main part of today's podcast, which is the second of three conversations, or well, it was one conversation, but it's chopped into three by us, and it's Valentine's Day, which I think has the same meaning. Does it have the same meaning in Germany, Sven, that it does in the UK?
Oh yeah.
Do you have to go and buy your wife?
Buy your wife flowers. That's it.
Absolutely. But it's the way that it's the express way to her heart, isn't it? You know, your wife. Sorry, I had to use that again.
Well, that was funny that you said this. It just reminds me of the Blues Brothers track, you know. Express way to your heart. It's a great song. I can't, for legal reasons, we can't play it now. But anyway,
no, exactly.
Let's start with the second part of the Russ Ballard pod. And Ian, can you give us a short summary where part one ended?
I can, but just let's also remember that just before we leave the Valentine's Day call. The Valentine's Day we chose, and another reason why we chose Valentine's Day is because it's the Book of Love, and this podcast is going to feature the Book of Love and a brilliant performance from Russ. But I'm not going to say any more about that. So yeah, let's talk about how pod one ended. It ended with us talking about what I call Russ treasure, and Sven was about to talk about that. There was a piece before that. What was the piece before that, Sven? You mentioned to me.
Somebody somewhere said, Russ Ballard is not making any demos. Russ Ballard is always producing masters.
Yeah. Russ don't do demos. Russ does masters. Yeah, that was the guy. Yeah, we looked him up. Yeah, we finished up with that, indeed. And we're just starting to talk about what we call Russ's treasure, and it just reminded us that one of the reasons why we started the Voices of Russ Ballard group is to allow everybody on Facebook to talk about their own their own treasure, whether it's autographed albums, whether it's special releases, whether it's promos, whether it's, doesn't matter what it is, to share it. And obviously Roland the Duke springs to mind, and a lovely quote from Sven on this. He said, when we first started this group, Sven said to me, Ian, the Voices of Russ Ballard is going to be the Duke's playground. which I think summed up very well. So
Yeah.
So let's get back to the interview now, and let's start with Sven talking to Russ about his own piece of Russ treasure.
I think that's a big trouble. That was a big trouble back in the days, that you haven't made any demos. It was master tapes. And we all have seen a result of how good your demos are. There's a funny in inverted commas, promo press in Australia. Russ, I told you about this.
Oh yeah, you talk about Ghost of Time.
Some months ago, you remember, and it's only released in Australia. So somebody at Epic or CBS made a decision. Okay, we put on demo songs, and there are songs I have never ever heard before. So it's One More Time, Come On and Set Me Free, Running, I Want You Right Now, and New York Groove.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. Well, and the demo of New York Groove. Was that the demo of New York Groove?
I have no idea. It is written down as NNEW and then York, so New York.
NYW. NYG.
NNEW and then
yeah, and
like a like a 19.
Oh yeah. The only time I produced New York Groove was the evening that I wrote it in the studio with Hello, the band.
Yeah.
Doing the demo. We did the demo.
So interesting to see that your demos back in the days were so good that somebody in a record company in Australia said, we put this on the album. And it was only a promo print of the first run of the LP as promo print. They used the same misprint cover, I would call it now, in the States for the first press promo. I do have a promo of the Barnet Dogs US print with printed on the backside these songs, but the regular tracks on the LP itself.
Yeah.
So I'm desperately, so this goes out to all listeners out there, I'm desperately in the need of getting one of these Australian presses. Please contact me. And I brought something along with me.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's the promo. That's the promo print.
God, he looks sexy.
Yeah.
This guy. Do you know him? Brilliant.
No, but I must get his number.
Yeah, really, I really want to get in touch with this guy. So he's amazing. And now,
At that time, Sven, at that time, if you notice, I never realized I was wearing an Adidas vest.
Yeah.
You see, I was wearing an Adidas vest there. When On the Rebound was out and was doing well in the clubs in Germany, I went over there to do some TV shows when it was doing pretty well. And every time I got to a TV dressing room, there were guys from Adidas there with all kinds of merchandise for me, just to take anything you want.
really?
For 2 years, I was having all three trainers, 3 tracksuits, and they were sending me stuff for my little son, who was Christian at the time. He was about 3 or 4, or whatever age he was, and send him. I said, "Can you send me some?" A guy called Thomas Lohmeyer was working for Adidas at the time. He said, "We'll send you anything you want. We'll send you anything. You just tell us what you want to send." I was getting boxes of free tracksuits and stuff. It was wonderful. Then as soon as the next album didn't happen, I never saw him again.
And the thing is, you gave, well, know that the Roulettes gave closing advice to the Beatles.
Yes, that we did.
And you especially, so on the backside of the Barnet Dogs album, you gave again closing advice. So with the Adidas t-shirt, you might know this world famous German band called Modern Talking.
Yes.
In the 80s, they always wore these Adidas trainers. And on this particular photograph, you wear white clocks.
Yeah.
And I only know one more rock star who's always, or
guess who he's going to talk about? Guess who he's going to talk about?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Well, when did Brian start wearing those?
Early 80s. So after you showing him how cool this looks.
I was wearing those in 1978.
Yeah. So good.
A lot of those tunes you mentioned, I did in my bedroom on a 4-track TIAC. Not a TIAC. Was it a TIAC? It was one of those on a tiny little machine, and I didn't have any gear. I had a little tiny sort of mixer, tiny little mixer. And I did them as demos, and I wasn't happy with them anyway, even as demos. I was much happier going into Barnet, into Livingston Studios, and making them there, because they had better equipment, actually.
JV told us all about Livingston Studios because he recounted the I Surrender days and when you were just sort of literally waking up and writing 5 hits a day kind of thing, and
well, funnily enough, it was happening like that then. But John used to work as an engineer there,
Yeah.
When he was not working, when he was not on the road, he was working at Livingston as an engineer. So I started working with him in there, as an engineer. He was an engineer. I got him to sing on I Surrender. Did he tell you that?
Yes, he did.
He sang on it. It was Bob, John Verity, Dave Winter, and I was actually in the control room, sort of listening to it. That's that was sad that he actually took the song to his record company, and it was the same song, and they didn't want to release it.
Along with Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight as well, because that obviously was never going to be a hit either. So they thought they'd turn them both down.
That was the great charisma bot story.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh dear.
It's a lot of luck. You take a track, you have a track you've recorded as a single, and you think you're going to put it out there, and you take it to the BBC, and they either say yes or no. If they say no, no one ever hears it in the world, basically, or they certainly don't hear it in England. Or BBC says, yeah, we put it on the list, and it becomes a huge smash. That's the difference between a career and no career. And that's your luck.
I mean, talking of huge smashes, Sven, I think you want to talk about the EMI years, and let's get into Voices and Fire Still Burns, don't you? You want to ask a question on that?
Yeah, let's have a short break before. So we will dream on a little now.
The fire is still. Yep. The fire is still burning in Hertfordshire. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's it. So have a short break, and we are back with our dear friend Russ Ballard in a few minutes here on the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.
See you in a minute.
Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Darfur, Zimbabwe. The fire still burns.
Fire still burns. The world, it keeps turning.
And you're back with the Voices of Russ Ballard and back with Russ Ballard. That was The Fire Still Burns from the album The Fire Still Burns, but was the live version. So it's a seamless show we have here. But I know Sven wants to talk about that era because we all love that era. Sven, you've got something for us there I can see on my screen. Tell us more.
Yeah, I do have in my hands, I'm holding in my hands what Russ always calls the Voices album, so the Black Russ Ballard album.
Yeah.
But it has a subtitle, if you want so, and it's called Two Silhouettes, and this is the South African press.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that before, Sven.
Well, it took me, well, I'm not joking, but it took me, I think it was 3 months' time to get this over from South Africa to Germany. But
Really?
it was worth waiting for it.
Yeah.
That was
The same songs on there, isn't it? It's the same album.
Yeah.
Same songs.
The same, exactly the same songs. For whatever reason, they just decided to call the album Two Silhouettes, maybe because your first solo album was titled Russ Ballard, but that was this time it was your famous EMI times. I always say it's the successful EMI years. So we had the Voices album, and of course The Fire Still Burns. Both of them were highly popular in Europe, and the tracks were played on each and every dance floor around Europe, you know.
Exactly.
The songs were featured in Miami Vice, and You the Superstar, I would say, in 1984 and 1985. That was so amazing. And
but Sven,
times for
true.
you.
That's true, Sven. But let's fast forward to a little place in Estoril that has a casino, and say bom dia to all those people, all those Portuguese people that were at that gig. Recently, was it last year? I think it was last year. Because the one thing that I'll say, and I was lucky enough to be there, they knew every single word, not just to the Voices track or not to, the big famous tracks, or every single track from those two albums. They knew every single song. They're singing along. And the audience are, much younger. They're still... I use the analogy, the fire still burns again, but I think we should say a big hello to all our Portuguese listeners. And Russ, you enjoyed that gig so much, and I know, you'd like to be back there someday soon. Yeah. I always love those audiences. They're just fantastic audiences. They're brilliant, and always have a great time. And the promoter, Emmanuel, is nice guy,
such an amazing man. When he got in touch with me when I was on MySpace a long time ago, and I didn't know he was a DJ. He said he was a DJ. His English at the time was limited, so I didn't know how serious he was about it. He said, I want to do a show for you. I want to do this, and I want to give you the best show you could ever have. And he did,
It was,
and every time I've been there, it's done the same thing. Every time it's a different venue, the same reaction is absolutely amazing.
Well, we need to get him on it so we can get you out there again very, very soon.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I've got a question around that time. Obviously, was the tour you did with Roger Daltrey, and there's some great FM recordings of that where, Dear Roger allows you to do two solo songs, which is in itself is quite amazing. But I think anything from that tour, obviously stories you've got will be welcome. But I've just got an observation about the Ride a Rock Horse album, which I still play. I think it's an absolutely cracking album. And you wrote 3 songs on there: Come and Get Your Love, Proud, and Near to Surrender. And I think with Roger, when Roger's on that audio in the US tour and he finishes with Free Me, and he says, it's an absolute killer.
And it is a killer.
I'm going to try and sing it again, but it's an absolute killer. Free baby, and he's singing that. And if you, it's true, you can listen to him on there. But if you actually listen to Proud, the track Proud, which is another one of your songs on the Rider Rock Horse album, it's another one where you know, Roger would need to gargle with Vim the night before probably to actually sing. So I just thought you two big songs there, but real challenge for the vocalist, which obviously Roger was one of the best. So
I mean, he's got powerful vocal cords, isn't he? I mean, I don't know how he does it, but I did that I produced the album in 75, but he phoned me and said, I'm going to do a tour on the next album. And that was 85. That was 1985. It was,
right.
Was it the next album? No, it wasn't the next album. It was about two. He said, it was his first solo tour of America. And that was 85. It's quite a long way in, actually. And he phoned me and said, Russ, I want you to do a couple of songs yourself and take the heat off of me. But he stayed on to give him, to give it to him. He stayed on and just banged a tambourine. Well, I did a couple of songs, but he was a good friend. I mean, he is a good friend. And then I was in the Teenage Cancer band with him for 9 years.
Yeah.
Playing with all sorts of people, that was a lot of fun. I've got on that tour of the East Coast with Roger, we played all along the East Coast. We played Pennsylvania. We played not Chicago, that's the Midwest. We played I can't remember all the different cities along there. But we ended up.
You played Washington, Philadelphia, Boston.
Boston's what I'm thinking of. We played Boston. I remember Boston, Washington. We ended up
Square Garden.
That's the one we ended up. We ended up there. And
Albany.
I've got some great pictures of because John Entwistle was on as a guest artist as well. He came on and sang Twist and Shout at the end every night.
Wow.
And when we played Madison Square Gardens, he said, I've got a guest artist tonight, and he brought on Julian Lennon, and this is for Twist and Shout. He's a John Entwistle, Julian Lennon, John Parr, and Julian walked on, and he said to me, "What mic do I use?" Because we were going to do the backing vocals, believe it or not, to his dad's. Well, I say his dad made Twist and Shout famous, although it wasn't his song. He made Twist and Shout famous from the first Beatles album. And he said, what mic do I use? I said, well, I saw your dad sing this so many times. He said, I'll come on and sing it with you. And I've got pictures of us doing the, woo, sing it up, baby, woo. And with John Parr, the three of us doing the backing vocals. Wow. But amazing. It was amazing. Yoko was there.
That's another one for the Time Machine, that one.
It's all going to happen again.
That would be.
It's great to see that. Yeah, you did the tour with Roger Daltrey in 1985. But what's always funny to me, the Voices album was a huge success all over Europe, and everybody loved, of course, Voices because of Miami Vice and In the Night. Again, my favorite.
Yeah, you made it.
I love it.
You made it famous, Sven.
It's one of the best ones. And remember the Estuarial Nights. So the story of your life.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
In the Night is so good, and the people were screaming in the casino, and the show in 20.
And that was just Sven.
That was just Sven.
Yeah.
It was just me screaming.
was here on the street. I'm just passing my time away. To the left and to the right, town of stone grows to the sky, and it's all the sun in a fading light. Here I am again in the city, with the fistful of dollars, and baby, you better believe I'm back in the New York groove. 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 In the back of a Cadillac, with a lady by my side, tell you where I'll be. Stop at 3rd and 43, dancing to the night. It's gonna be ecstasy. This day was made for me. Feels so good tonight. Who cares about tomorrow? I'm back in the New York groove. I'm back in the New York groove. I'm back in the New York groove. I'm back. Feels so good tonight. Who cares about tomorrow? I'm back in the New York groove. 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 The New York groove. And I ain't gonna move.
Screaming all the time, because it's really funny when I see you live on stage with your band. I have goose pimples for 2 hours.
His trousers too tight.
I could cry. I could cry all the time because
That's a mod.
it's so
That's a mod answer. That one. That's a mod answer.
and it's funny to see you haven't toured extensively for the Black Album. You did the show in, where was it? In Verona, the festival bar in Verona.
Oh, that was a great gig.
1984.
That was a fabulous gig.
And you did the kick-off show to what we call in Germany Rock am Ring, so Rock at the Ring in 1985.
Yeah.
One of the biggest festivals in Europe, in the
I
world.
remember that. Yeah.
To be honest, but there were no big tours. I know, well, likely because you're a family man, you just wanted to see your kids grow up.
No, I would like to have, when the kids were at school, once they're at school and doing things, I'd like to do a week or so, or do a few gigs together. It would have been great to have done that. But being away, it's just how I am. I love music, but I can do music in the studio. I love touring. I love audiences, but it's very difficult when you've got a family. I didn't expect it. I always wanted to be on the road. I wanted to get a band together and just be on the road until I fall over. And but when I had children, it changed everything. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. It's very, very strange. That's just how I am, And even now, I've got them living with me here, I've got the kids. Yeah. The kids living with me here.
But
it's wonderful.
It's good.
Yeah.
And your fans really understand this. The first time I had the chance to speak to you was 2007. It was around the Book of Love tour.
Yeah.
And in that tiny little venue where we were was just big pub. There was a chance to chat to you later on, and I just asked you, hey, where have you been all the years? And the answer was hey, I just want to see my kids grow up.
Yeah, that's how I can't help it, Roger's very different. We've talked about, I chatted to his wife about it, to Heather, and she said, he loves being on the road. He just loves being on the road. And that's how it is. And like most people, most guys are like that, strangely enough. But I guess if he was a writer, then he probably wouldn't mind staying home. I miss touring. I miss playing. It's a thing that I do regret not doing much more. I mean, you got to remember, before I went solo, I'd played for 11 years. I've been professional for 11 years, 12 years. I've been professional, so I've done a lot of playing. But there's nothing like playing to a live audience, I tell you, especially when they're singing your songs.
Exactly.
You realize why you're doing it, You say, this can't get any better than this. It's spiritual. It's bliss.
Yeah,
it is bliss. Especially, you sing a chorus and then let them sing the chorus, and it is wonderful.
Sven mentioned there, Russ, the Book of Love, and I know that's a real fan favorite. Some years ago, I was at a Zombies gig in central London. I don't think I've ever told you this. I was speaking to the late, great Jim Rodford, and his wife Jean was standing there at the same time. And he told me he'd been speaking to you, knew nothing about the Book of Love. And he said, and you told Jim you'd recorded an album that you just had to get out of your system. Quote. He said he's got to get it out. He's got to get it out of his system.
He used to say that to me. You've got to get it out. You've got to get it out. Yeah.
He said that to me, and it's funny. And the first time I met you, you said to me, and you started quoting lyrics. How do you sleep? How do you sleep? And all this sort of thing. And all those years later, when the album came out,
where do you go when you sleep?
Where do you go when you sleep? Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you go when you sleep? Yeah. No, the idea. It was such. I get emotional when I start talking about this because, there's so many aspects of love. And the book, the record was called, the CD was called Book of Love. And, we talk about love so easily. We talk about it, but it seems so hard to do. And we use love. We talk about, I love these shoes. The same as you say, I love my child, or I love this. I mean, we use the same word. I love this. It's an old banger, but I love it, and this kind of stuff. We use it so easily. And I was thinking about love and all the aspects of love and stuff. Where do we go wrong, when it comes to love and all that? And I thought I'd learned so much about it, about reading about love. And you read sort of spiritual books from gurus and stuff, Ramesh Balskar, Krishnamurti, people like that. I've read all this stuff and seen him talking and stuff. And all these gurus have such a lot to say. They seem so happy within themselves. You say they must know something that I don't know. You see gurus doing their thing, and they seem very at ease with themselves. You think, why can't I be like that? Why can't I feel like that? So you think, I'm going to find out what they do. What is it they do? And you start reading books, and these sort of, books on self-fulfillment and things, and mindfulness, meditation and stuff. Then you start to get to understand what they're talking about, and why, even though it's been going in the East for 5,000 years, they've known it for 5,000 years. And the rest of the world is following whatever they follow, but they're not happy. And they're going to war and doing all that stuff. I thought, I've got to put these down before before much longer. And I've got every song on the album was a signpost on the way to looking for love. I'm looking for this thing called love. So I'm on the way, and so I tried to go through every aspect I know of love, and starting from being in the psychiatrist's chair and the psychiatrist saying to me, sleep, sleep, sleep. Tell me what you remember. And music's going all the time. Then I sing, I can see a face in the distance, too far away, really to say if it's beauty or beast. I'm having this vision while I'm asleep, while the psychiatrist talking to me. And from then on, I'm on the journey. And I could be dreaming in the psychiatrist chair, but I might not be dreaming. Each song is another journey, each song. So I'm right the way through. A lot of people might not understand what I was trying to say, but the idea of it's all of the spiritual side of life, you know. And when it gets to the end, when I say about when it comes to close to the very end, when you realize I've learned this and I've learned that in the song, I've learned this and I've learned that. And then I believe that we're so much, as human organisms, we are not separate from each other, although we think we are, because, you know, we are the same. We want the same things, whether you come from Africa, or you come from China, or you come from Sweden, or here. We want the same things. We all want to be happy. We all want to be loved. We want to love. We want to feel secure. We all want it wherever we are in the world. So we're incredibly related. And I wrote this song, which was a true story. I met a girl from China. She became a friend. When I learned to understand her, there was much to comprehend. I sympathized with the stories. She laughed at my jokes. So many things about that time her memory evokes. I said, just like me, you get angry, like me, you get mad. Just like me, you're happy, then you're a little sad. We could blow smoke rings from the same cigarette. We could write a song, maybe a little duet. She said, eyes that are shut, they will never see. If you want the fruit, you got to shake the tree. Everyone in the world's playing blind man's buff. Just like me, you're looking for love. Then I met a man from Africa, Dakar, Senegal. Apart from the color of his skin, he was like a man I knew from Montreal. I said, you get scared? So do I. Think there's nothing there? So do I. And then he said, have you ever faked love? Me too. Give not enough? I do. Do you state your case? Well, so do I. Then close your mind to the reply. Have you said there's no God? Then prayed at night? I have, I do, and again I might. Do you get so angry you can't understand? You do, I do, so does every other man. In France or Spain or Timbuktu, what's inside of him is inside of you, and inside of me is in every other. Whoever you are, you're my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. Just like me, you get angry, like me, you get mad. So that's the idea. That's what I was trying to say in the song. This is the idea. This is it was leading up to that. Then after that, I can hear the psychiatrist saying to me, the end of the album is saying, wake up, wake up, wake up. And this is why it meant so much to me. I feel that that's that kind of empathy for every song that's on there. You know, I mean, it's a lifetime of taking in, reading about stuff. I mean, there's pop songs on there. There's pop songs and there's deeper songs. And she looked great in Hip Hugging the Silk. This is another thing we've yet to learn. She looked great in Hip Hugging that time of the night, the wine, the seductive light. I kissed her mouth. It's then we made love, or maybe not. I said, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I could still hear her crying from the stairs down below. Into the night, not feeling good, not feeling right. I said, on to the next valley and hill, the newest fashion, the next cheap thrill. I thought, give me time, I got plenty still, but time waits in silence and moves in for the kill. Still I tried it, chewed it, swallowed it down, always looking at the stars after falling to the ground. I said, this is it, this is it, this has got to be it. No, on to the next. I made love, played love, and thought, is this it? Is love so cheap a game, a small affair, or is there something deeper we could share? I found the priest, the monk, the rabbi, so secure they know the way, won't even listen to what the other has to say. Still I tried it, chewed it, swallowed it down, always looking at the stars after falling to the ground. This is it, this is it, this has got to be it. No, on to the next. And so This is, I don't know if you gather what I was trying to say in that. But,
we do.
you know,
We're just enjoying the listening to us, and actually we were joining in with you. I don't know whether you noticed there, but
I saw you doing
it was amazing.
that.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
We were.
Just Like Me is such a great song. I mean, the album is highly emotional, and it builds up in a very, very cool way. It's getting more bright at the end.
Yeah, but I wanted to make it, Sven, initially I wanted to make it really, really dark, but I thought, this has got to be positive. I've got to end, this has got to be a positive ending, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and look at the positive things, the grateful things and stuff, you know, and it ends in what a wonderful world. But I did tip my hat to Louis Armstrong.
But that is a wonderful closing of the album, and I mean the second last song, Into the Light, is wow.
I was going to say exactly the same thing, Sven. We've never spoken about that, but the way that builds goes, and the guitar solo in that is
amazing, isn't it?
I always, the volume control always goes up. Sort of,
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I wanted to make that album so music was continuous right the way through. There was no stop in the music. So I think I've got the first 4 songs like that, and then it was too difficult to actually to number the songs on the album. So in the end, it was decided that I should not make it continuous. But it was a joy to do. It was difficult to do, actually. My idea was to make each song have continuity with the previous song, you know, to make each one episode, and the key to sound right. So that took me 5 years to make. Anyway, it took me 5 years to do the album, which was sad. But
well,
but
if 2020, if there was one song on that album that would represent the theme of 2020, it would be Crazy World, I guess.
Well, you know, I thought about that. I thought the same thing. We're born to love, don't give enough. We search in dreams for love, it seems. Is it any wonder? Pollute the skies, kill the trees, every one of the 7 seas we plunder. And the child, what did he do to deserve the fate he got from you? It's madness. Crazy world, people searching high and low. Think they know what's going to make them happy now. Wonder why they feel so sad. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. Oh.
Don't give enough, researching dreams for love, it seems. Is it any wonder? Loot the sky, kill the trees, every one of the 7 seas we plunder. And the child, what did he do to deserve the fate he got from you? It's madness. Crazy world, people searching high and low, think they know what's gonna make them happy now, wonder how they feel so bad. It's a crazy world. Oh, it's a crazy world. Just you look around you, doesn't it astound you? It's a crazy world. Don't think twice if there's a price. Your money's king means everything, I don't doubt it. But just you keep it in your head, you won't take it with you when you're dead. Think about it. God, if there's hope, then let it be. I look around, it seems to me too many fears, too many lies, too many tears, and too many eyes. Same thing when boy meets girl, faith and trust turns to dust. Look, that was heaven turns to hell. It's a crazy world. Oh, it's a crazy world. Just you look around you, doesn't it astound you? It's a crazy world. Oh, it's a crazy world. Like the flame in a fire, we can rise higher. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. Someone tell me which way, love, I need to know. Until I find a way, I keep searching high and low. God, if there's hope, then let it be. I look around, it seems to me too many fears, too many lies, too many tears, and too many eyes. Same thing when boy meets girl, faith and trust turns to dust. Thought that was heaven turns to hell. It's a crazy world. Oh, it's a crazy world. Just you look around you, doesn't it astound you? It's a crazy world. Oh, it's a crazy world. Like the flame in a fire, we could rise higher. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world.
Brilliant song.
Talks a lot about the Book of Love, and we probably ought to mention one thing that you've been very kind to do, and people might be waiting to hear a brand new song from you. And I think, Sven, this would be a good time to perhaps mention that. And for those of you that don't know, Russ has been very kind and has given us a new song, which I'll let him talk about in a second, called "One Who Breathes Me" is the new song, and you'll be able to listen to it in a moment. But before we play the song, Russ, do you want to tell us a little bit about it? And by the way, we're not to have a new song to play to everybody, for Christmas or for the podcast is a real privilege. So thank you again. But tell us a little bit about the track and how it came about, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, yeah, this is one I had from a couple of years ago. I wanted to use this song. I actually offered it to Lynn Jackerman when she was here. You know Lynn Jackerman, the singer?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know Lynn? Yeah, she's a great singer.
Heard of her, yeah.
I offered it to her, but she liked it, but she didn't. I mean, I played her about 5 or 6 songs, and I think she was waiting for me to say, "You've got to do this," or, "This is the one for you." And so she was here for a few weeks, and then she was gone. We did a few songs together. We did some nice stuff together. That was one of the songs, but because she didn't develop releasing it or even recording it, I decided to use that for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'd written the song anyway. That was 100% mine.
Yeah. And it's very, I mean, we will play it for everybody in a moment, but I think Sven and I talked about it because we got to hear it in the last 24 hours. And for me, it goes on the way it's structured, and going back to your drum machines, your use of technology. I think our observation of you is that you've not just sat there and done sort of 3-minute pop songs. You know, at the age you are now, you've continued to develop as a songwriter, and the song, it has an edgy feel to it. It's not the, you know, it's different. It's using some of the, maybe you've been, I don't want to say influenced by Christian, but Christian obviously involved in the mixing process anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. And if you listen to It's Good to Be Here, there are examples on there as well of you know, it's not just the ballad that's wasted, or sorry, not wasted, the ballad that is wasted, the track. But there's some, not experimental, but you've made, I think, a new style. You've progressed, you know.
Well, I think I have.
Style.
I think I have. You see, when I was younger, I mean, quite a few of the songs were hits, but they were very, very, very simple. I couldn't do that now, you know. I have to sort of, it's just a natural thing. You sort of develop, you change as an artist, you know. And I've got so much I want to do, Ian. You don't know how much I've got so much. I'm playing this stuff on the piano, stuff that is nothing like rock and whatever. But I'm desperate to make an album of it. You see, what I'm doing at the moment, I intended in this, I didn't know how long the lockdown was going to go on for, but I thought I'm going to just put down songs, whether they are jazz, on jazz piano, whatever. I'm going to put down songs and try to find things that have continuity. But I've got 5 like that. I've got 5 kind of jazzy piano tunes. I could make an album with that, you know, or whatever. I've got those rock tunes. I can put those together and make an album. I've got those. That's what I would like to do. I mean, in the lockdown, I've done about 14. Got about 14 new songs in the lockdown.
A new album is coming. Rockdown tapes.
Yeah, lockdown tapes. Yeah.
The Rockdown tapes.
The Rockdown tapes.
And what Ian just said is the truth. Today, your music is different, and is so, to me, the new track is so modern. I mean, It's Good to Be Here is a very, very modern album to me, a modern rock album. I've seen many people in the World Wide Web talking about It's Good to Be Here, and some of these people said in the first place, oh, I'm missing a song like Voices or The Fire Still Burns.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks later, the same people said, wow, It's Good to Be Here. It's such a strong album. If you listen to it the second or the third time, it's getting better and better.
Ben, can I tell you something that you won't know because you're too young to know this, actually? When the Beatles had songs coming out and singles coming out, after the first few, they were being slated every time the reviews were bad, or Beatles lose it, Beatles have lost it on this song and all this kind of stuff. If you cast your mind back, they got bad reviews, and then everyone was raving about them because they were ringing in the changes, you know, people didn't understand what they were doing. If you're an artist, you don't stand still doing exactly the same thing. I can't do it. There are artists out there that can make the same album and do it very, very well. I can't do it. I have to go from one thing. I know I'm influenced by other people. I know that. I mean, and that's what you do. But I haven't listened to much radio recently. I just want to do things that in the last few years, actually. I just want to do what turns me on, you know. You've got to follow your heart.
Crush me again. In times like these, I can't live with the pain. Breathe me in, breathe me out.
The voice is strong there, isn't it? I mean, sorry to use the pun, voices. But the voice there is he's almost sounding angry. What do you think? He's almost angry there.
Well, I think it just fits to the song. It's so
Yeah.
The song itself is somehow, I would say, edgy. Yeah, edgy is it? Well, his voice, it sounds a little angry, but I would rather say it's very strong. It's very, very strong, and it's just a Russ Ballard song. You will remember this intro, you know, and you know straight away, okay, that's Russ Ballard.
Brave me in, don't let me fall. When you're not here, I ain't breathing at all. In times like these, I can't live with the pain. Brave me in, brave me out. You're the one, give me life and give me no doubt. I want you. You're the one who breathes me. You're the one who breathes me. I want you. You're the one who breathes me. The one who breathes me. You're the one who breathes me. The one who breathes me. Brave me
Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.
In times like these, I can't live with the pain. I want you. You're the one who breathes me. You're the one who breathes me. I want you. Breathes me. The one that breathes me. I want you. You're the one who breathes me. You're the one who breathes me.
True rocker, still a true rocker. This guy is a true rocker.
And it's one of those tracks that, and hopefully Russ will listen to our feedback on this. It's one of those tracks you could remix 2 or 3 versions of. So, what do we think of that new track? What do we think of that new track? I think that was really good, and it just the tip of the iceberg as to what is going on during lockdown, or is it Rockdown? The Rockdown tapes. What do you think, Sven?
The Rockdown tapes, you know. What we know so far is that Russ has recorded during the lockdown time enough material for minimum 2 new albums. I would say he has enough material for 3 or 4 new albums. So we look forward what's next on his personal agenda. So this was a song called "One Who Breathes Me." Everything was mixed and mastered by Christian Ballard. So Christian, Russ,
and I think if ever there's a song, Sven, that perfectly illustrates how Russ is now different as a songwriter, how he told us himself, didn't he, in the interview, how he's now progressed. He feels he's progressed. He's developed as a songwriter. He's not going to sit and regurgitate voices for the rest of his career. He's doing different things. Maybe being experimental. Maybe Christian is an influence, dare I say, on him, and a good influence, perhaps.
a good.
And
I think that's
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that track was a perfect example of how Russ's music is changing and developing as time goes on, and long may it continue. From my point of view, well, I'm sure everybody will agree with us. But listen, what we'd like everybody to do is to let us know what you think of the new track. Please tell us in the group, put it on Facebook. We'd love to have feedback. We don't have too much feedback about how things are, what you think, how we can improve things, what we'd like included. But we'd like to know what you think of that track. That's for sure.
Well, we put ourselves on the risk of getting a shitstorm in social media. Now the people will react. We want to apologize. Ian and I were talking all the time, or most of the time, whilst we had a new song, and we did this for a very good reason. We didn't want it. You guys out there to be pissed off. It's for a good reason. Ian, maybe you want to say something about this?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, when we spoke to Russ, he was a little reluctant to go. I think that was one of the leading tracks that was going to be used by another artist, which he ended up using. So he felt it was a strong track. And I said to him, look, I don't want you to feel under pressure that you've got to give us, one of your better tracks, but it'd be lovely to have some exclusive music for the podcast. So we came up with the idea of literally just talking in the middle of it to break it up, so that just in case somebody thinks they're going to put it on YouTube or they're going to try and do something with it, it just makes it virtually impossible to do so. So it was something that was our commitment, wasn't it, Sven, to Russ, which then opened the door for us to be able to share the new song with you.
So I think now all the listeners really understand how Russ's musical skills developed over the last couple of years. You now have a good understanding of Russ Ballard in 2021, of his new music, which is great, but we couldn't play the full song without us interrupting it a little bit, because we respect the artists, and this is super duper important to us to make sure that the artist feels comfortable. And Russ just gave this track to us as a gift and say, okay guys, I trust you and you can play it, and this is exactly what we wanted to do. But
exactly,
Russ himself will tell us a little bit more about songwriting, developing new albums, new tracks, how long this might take, can take, will take, who knows, in Russ Pod Part 3.
Oh, there's another part, is there, Sven? Oh, yes, of course there is. Well, we also hope you enjoyed. And by the way, if you want that new song released, tell Russ. If you think it's really good enough to be a single, maybe as part of an EP, tell Russ. Get on the Facebook page. You've got access there. Via Carol, everything is passed on. Russ sometimes looks in and answers personally. Let us know in the group. We'll feed it back as well on the Voices of Russ Ballard forum. Please use that. Tell us what you think, and maybe we can get it officially released. Why not? I think certainly before we leave the pod today, we also really wanted to mention how enjoyable it was to listen to Russ's vocal performance on a couple of tracks on the Book of Love, which literally came out of the blue, and he almost apologized, saying, oh, I'm sorry, I've kept you so long, but and we're sort of there mesmerized at the other end, to the point where Sven and I were moving our heads as he was going through from side to side, almost in time with each other, which he noticed as well on the Zoom call. So that was real fun, and you've got a real example of the passion coming through from that album there, I thought. So for me, that was another highlight of today's podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
time to say goodbye, I would say.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we must go now. It's been a long one.
We will be back with a new Russ, or with the third part of the Russ Ballard podcast, promised very soon. We'll keep you updated via the Voices of Russ Ballard Facebook group. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody. Speak soon.
It's goodbye from me, Ian.
And goodbye from me, Sven.
Cheers.
Hi, this is Russ Ballard, and you're listening to the Voices of Russ Ballard podcast.